When you're a sidekick, I knew it, everybody. I knew it. I knew GTA 6 would be delayed to next year. I just knew it. I did a post about this on my YouTube Shorts about how basically saying that like somebody was going to push it back because 2026 and GTA 6 both have 6 in the name of it, so that way it's like it'd be a great idea if it released next year, you know what I mean? And it would also give them more time to develop the game and get ready to like put it out to the world. I knew that they were prematurely saying that it was going to come out in 2025. Like, no way were they going to do 2025, especially after that announcement. They need to take more time to work on it. Like, as soon as they announced it, they were like, they kind of tried to make it definitive. 2025 we're releasing it. And then after realizing that it's going to be a really big game and that they aren't really prepared for it, they're going to take more time to develop it. So I basically knew it, you know. I'm a genius. What else can I say? I don't know what else people expect from me. I don't know what more to tell you guys. I'm as clever as it gets, you know what I mean? I can see the future. And I knew that GTA 6 was going to be delayed. It's kind of funny because, you know, everybody was really excited for the game, and especially with how expensive it was going to be, everybody was kind of like, oh, I'm going to get the game. You know, people are going to get the game no matter what, but it's like $100 for that game. You know, I don't know how worth it it'll be, but at the end of the day, I just want to say that I knew it. I'm sure a lot of other people knew that it was going to be delayed or like pushed back. Maybe not until next year, but that it was going to happen, essentially, is what I'm trying to get at here. It's a big game. It's a really big game. And I think it just gives people more time to focus on other things, like the Nintendo Switch coming out this year. I think that'll get like the main spotlight now. It's not going to be a fight between GTA 6 or the Nintendo franchise and stuff coming out. Like, it's going to be directly just the Nintendo. This is Nintendo's year, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. It's not going to be divided up and people are going to have to struggle for it anymore. Whereas next year, 2026, that's when it's going to, that's when it's going to be really, really big and important. Focusing on GTA 6 and all of that stuff. So we have until next year. So we'll have to see how that goes. And I have to say is that, like, once the game comes out, I wonder how people are going to react to it, you know? Do you feel like people are going to say that this was worth the however long it was? Or do you think it'll be kind of like they should have already had this out for, like, everybody, you know what I mean? Like, people are saying that the Nintendo Switch 2 should have came out, like, a couple years ago. Like, they waited too long and it's not good enough to, like, be an upgrade or whatnot. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, essentially saying that, is this game going to be as great as they're announcing it to be and that it was worth all of this time? Or should they have been working on something like this and came out earlier with it? And, you know what I mean? I'm trying to say is that, like, is it going to be worth it in the end, you know? And that I don't know. I have no idea. And that's also to say that once this game is, like, absorbed and, like, taken, how long is it going to last? Is it going to last another, however many years? You know what I mean? Is it going to last all that much longer? You know, who knows? Who really knows? But I can guarantee that it's going to be a huge thing for the gaming community, for people who do streaming and stuff like that. They're going to be wildly addicted to the game. You're going to see posts and clips of people, like, playing the story and getting to out there and robbing, stealing, doing all that stuff. Being at the strip club, I think is going to be really funny for people. Getting money, shooting, fighting, all of this other stuff. It's going to be really, really hilarious. And it's in Florida. Man, it's going to be great. But stuff like that is, like, what the hype is surrounding and how crazy it's going to be. It's also the graphics are really good. So, I don't know. I'm just trying to think that, like, is the game really going to change everything? Is it going to be a huge deal? Or is it kind of going to be like, it's going to have its moment and then it's going to kind of, like, die down? You know what I mean? I think that once the game comes out, it's going to be heavy edits, like on social media platforms, heavy edits on it, or like the cars, like those edits where people were doing in GTA 5, where it's like the car is like flying in the air or whatever, and then it like miraculously lands in like the right spot or whatnot. I don't know, something like that. What else is there? Well, since we're talking about when you're a psychic, let's see what else. What other psychics have predicted? Like, I want to see what like correct psychics have predicted. You know what I mean? Correct psychics. Sorry. Okay. No. And let's see. Accurate, correct psychics proven. All right. Here we go. I guess they were more so fortune tellers, huh? Yeah, I can't find anything on anybody like claiming to be a psychic and getting anything right. That should automatically just tell you that like they shouldn't be trusted or like aren't real. But I'm real. I'm definitely real. Okay, what is a psychic? What do they claim to be is what I'm trying to get. So, a psychic is a person who claims to possess parapsychological abilities, such as extrasensory perception, ESP, to gain information that is not accessible through normal senses. These abilities may include clairvoyance, seeing things from a distance or in the future, telepathy, reading minds, or other seemingly inexplicable acts. While many people believe in psychic abilities, the scientific community generally considers such claims to be pseudoscience with no empirical evidence to support them. So, I mean, you can call it just like me having a sort of understanding about humans and companies. You know what I mean? I know that companies are going to delay or push back, especially when it comes to a video game of this size. You know what I mean? But yeah, I just kind of feel like they prematurely announced the game too early, and now we're in this position where they're in the position where it's like, oh snap, now we're stuck in a deadline and we need more time to work on the game. Let's push it back a year. You know what I mean? Give ourselves more breathing room to work on our game and make it the best game that we can offer to the general public. You know what I mean? So I think that's the main reason why. But let's take a look. Let's take a look at the GTA 6 announcement, or like the reason why they pushed it back. Okay, so statement. So Rockstar Games has announced Rockstar Games has basically announced they've pushed it back. Okay, here's their statement. Hi everyone, Grand Theft Auto 6 is now set to release on May 26, 2026. Gosh, I knew it. We are very sorry for that this is later than you expected. The interest and excitement surrounding a new Grand Theft Auto has been truly humbling for our entire team. We want to thank you for your support and your patience as we work to finish the game. With every game we have released, the goal has always been to try and exceed your expectations, and Grand Theft Auto 6 is no exception. We hope you understand that we need this extra time to deliver at the level of quality you expect and deserve. We look forward to sharing more information with you soon. Sincerely, Rockstar Games. So, I'm gonna see like if anybody like kind of guesses why they pushed it back. If there's any other reason for like to be pushed back. When it announced the delay last week, it told fans it needed extra time to deliver at the level of quality you expect and deserve. According to Bloomberg journalist Jason Schreier, the delay was also to avoid crunch, a gaming industry term for enforced overtime. So, they push it back to next year so that way they can work on the game as much as they need to without having to wait until the last minute to put out the game and give a subpar product. What does that really mean? I think that now with video games, they give you like the game, but it's not fully completed. You know what I mean? They give you the game and then it's like, but wait, we're going to update the game later on, or we're going to add a DLC later to it, or we're going to add a package, or or an update. We're going to add an update to the game and it's going to be better. And that way they hook you onto the game and then they don't give you the full product, but then they say, but you should keep playing it because then there's going to be a better game. You know what I mean? It's going to be better and we're going to make it better eventually. You know what I mean? It's not the best product that they have to offer right at the gate. And so right now for the development team, they don't have to work overtime. You know what I mean? They push it back and they keep on working on it. And that way everybody kind of has like there's no, how can I say it? It's like, if you're a construction worker and you have to build a building, let's say, and you say it's going to come out in 2025, then you have to get everybody working to meet the deadline. And so some people are going to be like, you're going to have to work overtime in order to like basically finish the building. And then the construction company is like, well, we don't want to do overtime. If we do overtime, my guys are going to be overworked, underpaid, and they're not going to be able to give the best building. They're just going to like, half-ass it. They're not going to do as good of a job. So instead what you do is, actually we're going to release it next year and you have more time to finish building the building, and that's basically it. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's the same way with this video game. The developers and the whole team, everybody that's working on the 3D graphics and the imagery, the story, the game, the mechanics and all of it, they need more time to work it out. And they were really ambitious in announcing it this year, but it's just not going to happen. It wasn't going to happen. So it's pretty crazy that that's how it all went down. But, I guess they wanted to avoid a crunch or whatever. People are saying that the delay is normal for them. They've seen it before. They shouldn't be surprised. It's still going to be good. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. Too much work, not enough time, and what appears to be a real desire from management to avoid brutal crunch. So they don't want to, like, rush it or be forced to, like, we have to work overtime and whatnot. So GTA 6 was pushed back from its initially anticipated 2025 release window to May 26, 2026. Due to Rockstar Games needing more time to polish the game and ensure it meets their quality standards. Rockstar stated they needed extra time to deliver at the level of quality you expect and deserve. They emphasized their goal was to exceed expectations. And given the immense hype and anticipation, is aiming for a polished and high-quality final product. Rockstar has been criticized in the past for demanding work culture and long hours during development. So you could only imagine up until this point, like, how many people have been, like, I don't know, been in crunch time. Like, the development team must be, like, going crazy right now. I mean, must have been going crazy now that they've been given a little leeway in their, whatchamacallit. They've been given some time to work on the game. They can breathe a little easier, or like, not worry as much as they should. You know what I mean? So I imagine it's probably a good scenario for the developers and everybody, like, actually working on the game. They have more time to create the kind of game that they want, or the kind of game that they feel like the fans need or deserve, which I like. I think that's a good way of making sure they work. They work in increments of, like, we're going to do this and then this, and they build and build and build, as opposed to, say, like developing it for like a couple of years and then waiting until the last second to push it out and then have to update the game or do more to the game. You know what I mean? It's just more, it's a lot better this way for them to push it back. And it just goes to show that they were too early in their anticipation for the game or people's want for the game or to like push it out there. They need more time on it. I kind of like it because it means that they obviously get to make it a better game, but it's also because that like it goes to show that they're not struggling with, they're not doing this solely for the money, I guess. I mean, you could probably say it's like making a better game means it's going to sell more, and it's such a huge game that people are going to be more likely to buy it. But you know what I'm trying to say is that like creating a game like this takes time and money, and the fact that they're willing to delay it or push it back at all and not to see a profit until next year is a big deal and is really cool to see, I guess. Outside of that, what do I think? I mean, it's disappointing now, but the fact is we don't have the game yet, so, you know, it doesn't really matter if it gets delayed, you know what I mean? I guess that's where they kind of like ruined it for themselves, is that they announced it, you know? If they had never announced it or said anything, then this delay wouldn't have been possible, but hey, it is what it is. You know, they were ambitious. They thought they were going to get it done this year. They need to wait until next year to actually release it and have it ready. So, yeah, that's just kind of what I'll say on it. But I wonder if there's anything else like video games that have been pushed back. Let me take a look. Video games delayed. Every game delayed right now. Oh, these are just 2025. So these are other games that have been delayed. GTA 6 delayed. That's number one. Soup Pot. Don't know what that is. Everyone knows soup tastes better when it takes more time to simmer, and Shy-Con Club's Soup Pot will be doing that. Stated for release in August, the game is now coming to Xbox platforms and PC later this year. In order to give the developer more time for polishing, you'll be doing live streams of your cooking in the game to make over 100 dishes. Crimson Dessert. Oh, Crimson Desert. My bad. I don't know why I said it like dessert. Anyways, Crimson Desert. Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. Nah. Vampire. Well, it's called Vampire: The Masquerade Bloodlines 2. Pragmata. It kind of looks like, well, I have no idea what it looks like. It's just like a little girl holding a sign that says 2022, 2023, sorry. Replaced, Ark Raiders, The Wolf Among Us 2, Ark 2 and Ark Survival Ascended, Hollow Knight, Silksong, Phasmophobia, City Skylines 2, No Rest for the Wicked, Prison Architect, Little Nightmares 3, Demon School, Tales of the Shire, Hunter x Hunter, Nen Impact, The Altars. Okay, I think there have been enough delays. Video game delays are often due to a variety of reasons, including technical difficulties, scope creep, needing to polish the game, and addressing feedback from players or critics. These issues can require additional time and resources to fix, test, and improve before a game is deemed ready for release. So the technical issues include bugs, performance problems, or issues with the game's code, particularly when dealing with new console generations, okay? Scope creep. Developers may try to add too many features or content to the game, exceeding their original scope and time constraints. So I think that might be a huge reason. They added too much to the game of GTA 6. They have too many ideas that they're adding to it, and now they're kind of like we have too much on our plate and we have a release date of 2025. We need more time to like polish it and make the game good to get like that scope essentially to fit the scope that we want it to be. And now here we are. They delayed it to next year. Polishing and quality control. Developers often delay a game to ensure it's free of bugs, well optimized, and provides a polished player experience. Okay? So it could be a bug problem. They have too many bugs in the game, or there is a bug in the game and they need more time to like fix it, which completely understandable. What else is there? Feedback and improvements. Developers may take feedback from players, testers, or critics to refine the game's mechanics, story, or graphics, leading to delays as they implement these changes. So when they were initially going to release it this year, I imagined that they had players test the game, like test players, try out the game and figure out the game's mechanics and figure out and play like a bit of the story or take a look at the graphics or whatnot. And based on those tests, they could have, I don't know, they could have found bugs, or like people could have said, well, you should probably do this and not that. You know what I mean? So they were more so like, you should do this instead of doing that. And by doing that, you'll be able to quote unquote improve the game. So they probably found something that they wanted to add and improve and so on and so forth. Marketing and competitive landscape. I don't think that is a question for GTA 6. It's already a very hype game. It has a huge fan base. People still play GTA 5 and the other GTA games. So I don't think it's a question of like competitive. People are going to play the game, but there are other games out there that are really good as well, and they could be competitive. I imagine people could have been. You could make the argument that because the Nintendo Switch 2 is coming out this year with Mario Kart World and other things like that, it could prove to be a competition against GTA 6. So they then decided to say, you know what, let's delay it until next year when we don't have to worry about that specifically. You know what I mean? So who knows? But yeah, that could be it. Yeah, so they're probably like, let's release it when it's more favorable for us, and we'll wait on it and whatnot. There's also internal conflicts. Issues with leadership, project management, or disagreements within the development team can also lead to delays. I mean, we'll have to see when the game comes out, or like if anybody speaks up about it. But since they have another year of like working on it, you know what I mean? I don't expect anybody to be like, we're overworked or whatnot. You know what I mean? They're given time to work. So I imagine that they fix that. But, you know, maybe in a few years we'll figure out that like, yo, we had some issues with leadership. Project management was like pushing us to release it in 2025. We needed more time. And we had some disagreements with the development team, so we had to push it back, and we need to work on it some more to give the best game that we possibly can. So there's that. And then, yeah. So, I mean, I knew it was going to happen. You know what I mean? When you're a psychic, you know, like I am, when you can predict what these companies are going to do. I mean, it isn't a very rare ability. It's just that I can see the landscape of what's going on. You know what I mean? And it's not the first time that a video game company has obviously delayed a game. So I believed that they were going to release it this year, especially with so much going on. And as big as that game is, they needed more time on it. So it didn't seem outside the possibility. So eventually, you'll catch on that these video game companies like to say that they're doing one thing and then push it back to give themselves more time. So, hey, it is what it is. I think that the game is going to be really good, but, you know, there's disappointment because they announced it too early. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, it is what it is. So that's it. That's how I'm a psychic. When you're a psychic like I am, if you predicted that GTA 6 was going to come out next year, then you're also a psychic. I'm dapping you up through this podcast. Yo, dap me up. Dapped you up, and now We're psychics. We knew it. We knew what these companies were going to do. We knew what Rockstar Games was going to do at least. So, hey, it's over now. You know, wait till next year to really play the game or get more info on the game. But yeah, until then. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening. I'll talk to you guys all next time. Thank you.